And if so, how do you even do that?
Is that you asking what we do, or like a notion?
Well,
of
it's just kind of like the notion from the outside. Like if we're analyzing it, try to oversimplify it, that it's you turn Jokic into a scorer versus him getting like 9-10 assists on you.
One, I would say there's no right answer. So to sit here and think that there's one way to guard him is, there isn't one. So I think it's just more about what you're willing to start taking away, and then what you have to do throughout the game. And I know I see the stat of like he shoots more than 20 shots that they lose and 15 and they win. Maybe a little bit, but to me, it's just you got to be very diligent in what you're willing to live with and what you're willing to take away. And the game is going to take on some possessions of its own, and we got to be ready to adjust in those situations. And so there'll be a couple layers to what we do, but it's a great offensive team, and we got to be very disciplined in our approach tonight.
And statistically, 2 of your top 3 as terms of opponent effective field goal percentage dropping at the rim. Number 1 is Sam Hauser, and number 3 is Peyton Pritchard. How is it that those 2 guys are, when they're on the floor, teams shoot so much worse at the rim?
I have no idea. I know I can speak for why I've always had faith in them and think they're 2 really good defenders. It's because they take up space. They don't have low pickup points, and they keep guys in between them and the basket, and they don't, they more times than not do a great job of not fouling. So that's a layer of it. To protecting the rim in general is the first line is your individual defense, and both those guys take a lot of pride in their individual defense.
Obviously, it's going to be a team effort guarding Jokic, but for Kristaps specifically, what kind of challenge is it going to be for him and just the defensive strides he's made this year going up against him and the responsibility he'll have there?
Stay between him and the basket, defend without fouling, stay down on pump fakes, and fight for your space early.
And for him, he was talking this morning, the All-Star game not being a big concern for him. But in terms of the first half of the year he's had, obviously all the guys are pushing for the All-Star game. But what has kind of made him that level player this year to kind of be in that conversation?
I think his efficiency. I think, he's done a great job just playing versus different coverages, being efficient on the offensive end, and just playing good basketball. I think all those things play into that.
Just in general, Joe, sort of a broader question. There's obviously these are 2 incredible offensive teams, a lot of firepower all over the place. Do you think that with the way the game is set up right now, from the way it's officiated to the way it's played, to the style it's played, that there's a fair balance between offense and defense? And if not, do you think there's things that could change to give defenses a little more of a chance to combat the elite players and teams?
I mean, I don't know. We're top of the league of defending without fouling, so it's not that like I'm ever out there and I feel like we're being like the offense is so ahead of the defense. I don't really feel that way. You know what I mean? I do think the players are just really good, and the game is so fast, and the ability to shoot 3-pointers, get offensive rebounds, and play at a fast pace puts a natural pressure on defenses. But I don't think there's stuff that can like change that. So to me, it's just we just try to play like well balanced basketball. But there's never a time where I'm like, oh, the offense is way ahead of the defense. At least for us.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.